Hi everyone. It is Sunday, March 1st. So it's been, let's see, December, January, February, March, 4 months basically since I was diagnosed. So this is just an update on how I'm doing now. It's been a while since my last video. I just collect everything that I have to talk about and eventually put it all together in one place. So I just wanted to talk. As most of you know, I lost quite a bit of weight during my flare-up and my illness, and have since gained all of it back, every single pound back, which is fantastic. However, because I wasn't, going to the gym and doing those toning and cardio exercises, it kind of is all just like sitting there in like lumpy, bumpy places. So I know that I'm back at my health, and so I know that yoga isn't doing everything for me, and I did sign up for a 3-month unlimited yoga package and still have a whole month of it left, and it's just not what my body needs right now. So I got my membership back at Good Life, and going there like 1 or 2 times a week because I'm still trying to use up my yoga to its fullest potential, which I haven't been. And I'm still dancing 5 hours a week, and we've had some hiccups with our Salsa Fridays, so I haven't really been going to that much. So I've just been getting back to the weightlifting class and then just going and doing my own thing with cardio, because I'm not getting a lot of cardio. I mean, I do have the dance classes, but they are quite easy cardio-wise. So Sunday mornings I generally go and do 20 to 40 minutes of cardio, and then do some of my own weights and areas that I want to work on. So I feel like I've been doing really well getting back at it. I'm really thankful for how in shape I was prior to getting sick, because my body is remembering and it's changing much faster and much easier with as much efficiency as possible, because my body was so in shape prior to this happening. So that's really great. And I've been eating basically on the weekends. Generally the weekend, so either Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or maybe just Friday, or maybe just Saturday, Sunday, I've been having things that aren't on my friendly list. So I've been having eggs Saturday mornings. It's like my weekly ritual. It's really awesome, and I know that they really affected me before, so I don't have them very often. And I have popcorn maybe once every 1 or 2 weeks, depending on if we're going to the theater. With the Academy Award run, we just watched a lot of movies, of those Academy Award running movies at home, so I wasn't eating a lot of popcorn, so that's really good, because I know it's not good for me. And I've been having, some sugar and some chocolate, not a lot of chocolate, because I know that it is a diuretic, so I haven't been having that. But I did have Chinese food last weekend. I've been craving it for months. And I think I didn't eat a lot of fried food before I got sick, but when you're deprived of it, I guess, or you can't have it, that's all you want, that's all you crave. So I was craving Chinese food for about 3 months. So we had our cousins over for games night, and I was like, well, you guys want to come over for dinner and order Chinese food? So it was so good. And I mean, I felt about as bad afterwards as after eating it as most people would after eating Chinese food. So it wasn't due to my illness, it was just due to, like, it's not good for you food. But it was really enjoyable and really delicious. That being said, I'm trying to find my food medium. I mean, I'm having things here and there that I know that I'm not supposed to have or shouldn't be having as often, but I'm trying to find a medium between where I ate before, like, salads and fruits and vegetables throughout the day, or how I'm eating now with and I found an easy way of describing it, and I kind of wish I'd thought of it sooner. I'm not eating foods that are too easy to digest, so example, popcorn, salad, those types of things, and I'm not eating things that are too hard to digest, so nuts and red meats and those types of things. And so with my medium digestive diet, I guess you could call it, I'm trying to find a medium between that and the way that I used to eat. And I'm still really scared and I'm still really tentative because I feel like any day, if I start eating that way, any day could be a flare-up. I mean, I'm still taking my medication 3 in the morning, and I mean, I want to be off of it, but I'm still really scared about that. I'm trying to listen to my body, and I'm trying to do what's best for me, and so I might follow up with my family doctor and just see what her opinion is on it, rather than, you know, what the gastroenterologist said about just being on it for the rest of my life. So if you have any tips about, you know, eating in between the two spectrums, that would be much appreciated. I've found that since my illness, I've really found what my priorities are, whether that's people who I was friends with or people who I was acquaintances with, who I no longer feel like I'm getting fulfillment out of these relationships. I've found it very easy to let go. And, you know, if somebody with a busy schedule as mine, I always have a sense of obligation to keep up with these people or make plans with these people, or, you know, just keep in touch. And same with things in my life, you know, things that I was doing, whether it's like a chore. I mean, I don't really have an example on that, but I found that since this, I no longer, and I don't consider it a bad thing, but I think maybe some people would, that I can just not do things or separate myself from things that I feel aren't giving me fulfillment. And that's a hard thing to do in this day and age, because we always feel this obligation and we sit in routine. So I was having a conversation with my best friend on Friday about how there's these people that we usually hang out with, and out of habit, we hang out with them, we still hang out with them, or we still chat with them, text with them, email with them, whichever. And eventually gets to a point where you're like, well, I don't really want to go, or I don't really care what they're doing. But out of obligation, out of habit, we still keep those relationships or do our best to keep them. And I've gotten to that point, and she's gotten to that point where it's like, what's the point? And so, and same with work. Like my work, I feel, is my work ethic, I guess. No, not my work ethic. Like my quality of work, maybe, is suffering because I don't care. And I've never not cared about my job. If you know who I am, I've always cared too much about my job, like too much to a fault. Even in my interviews, when they always say, like, what's my biggest flaw in my opinion is that I care too much about my job, because it gets to the point where there's things that you should just be able to let go or brush off, and I was never able to do that. And now I'm one of those people who are brushing things off, and I never used to be like that. It's kind of in the same wavelength as how I said I have more sympathy for people who are sick now, telling them stay home, take care of yourself, those types of things I never would have said before. Now I'm trying to tell people, like, it's not, in the broad spectrum of things, this little thing is not that big of a deal. And I'm slowly feeling that over my work, and I feel like my work is kind of affected by it. I've talked to my manager quite a bit about it. I mean, there's not much I can do. Like, once you go through something like that and your whole world changes, you realize that some things just don't matter. And I hope that some people can have this realization, or do already have this realization, because it's so freeing. It's like a weight lifts completely off your shoulders, because you just feel you don't have that obligation, and it frees up time for, yourself, like spending time on yourself and thinking about yourself and how you view like the world. And not to get all deep and stuff, but I mean, I have so much more opinions on things and things that I feel passionate about, and I can see them more clearly now that I'm not focusing on all these little petty things. So I feel like this is awful to say, but this disease has really changed me, I think, for the better. And I mean, it did put me through a tough place physically, but I'm getting back to exactly where I was before it happened. And that can happen with anything. Like, if someone gets a broken leg or a broken arm, they probably get out of shape depending on how their injury affects their day-to-day exercises, and then they come back stronger or whichever, and that's how I kind of feel like this is happening for me too. So it's it's really awful to say. I mean, nobody should ever get this. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but it's really, really changed me for the better, and I think, all things happen for a reason, and whether it was getting me to slow down when I was at my highest, busiest point, if it was getting me to slow down, I don't feel guilty now saying, you know what, I'm not going to go to the gym tonight, I'm not going to go to yoga tonight, I'm just going to stay at home and spend some time with my husband, get some stuff done around the house, or whichever. I don't feel guilty doing those things because I didn't allow myself to let go before, and so I think that's really fantastic. One more thing, my groceries are back on budget. I don't know how it happened, but I mean, this $800 a month was not going to last much longer. I mean, I would rather starve than spend $800 a month on groceries for just 2 people. So now we're back to where we were before I got sick, and I'm still buying all my gluten-free, dairy-free stuff. It's just we finally got a handle on it, and I realized what I like, what I don't like, and I'm not going through things as often because I'm eating a bit more regularly. So everything seems to be coming up spades on my end, and I'm really happy to give you this update. And I'm not going to be doing my movie videos, I don't think, anymore. I don't have a good enough vocabulary, I realize, that when you try and portray how you're feeling, I just can't express it the way that it deserves to be expressed for my passion about movies. So I just don't think that's going to be something I'm doing. My recital is next weekend, and oh my gosh, it's in 5 days. I'm so nervous and I'm so excited. The one piece that I'm doing in this is the hardest piece I think I've ever done. It's so intricate and so out of my comfort zone that I'm really, really, really nervous for it. And my grandma and my mom are coming from Edmonton to come see it, and so I'll know that I have to be on point because I just want to express it. I mean, because I didn't dance growing up, none of my family got to see me dance. So this is really exciting for me. And every year, this is my third recital year, and I'm just getting better and better every year. The first year I just did a pretty slow, basic beginner lyrical piece, and then last year we did an advanced jazz piece, which was kind of catered to me because I was like the weak link. I was, whatever I couldn't do, we didn't do. So, and then this year I'm doing 5 pieces with it, which is so awesome. So at the one that's this weekend, I'm doing the street jazz, which is the intricate, crazy one that I've never done, that I feel uncomfortable with. And then the other one's a tango Broadway, which I ended up in the beginner class just for scheduling reasons. I'm not going to get into it. So it's a very easy piece, and I basically just get to pose and look pretty, and it's just going to be fun, I guess, is the only way I can put that. So at least I'm not nervous for that one at all, just nervous about the jazz. And then I have another one at the end of May that I'll be doing a lyrical ballet and the advanced jazz, and I've never done ballet on stage, so I'm really, really excited for that. And you get costumes, they're beautiful, they're so beautiful. And then the lyrical piece is probably my favorite piece out of all 5 of them, and then the jazz will be fun too. So that's all I have to talk about today. Have any questions on how I got here? If you haven't watched any of my videos before, just comment below. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.